I want to give all praises to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Kakadash, double honors to the apostles of great wisdom, peace, blessings, and honors to all the brothers, and it's true. This the brother Kadash, back with another one. This is North Korea. They're pretty much saying that, North Korea could, they developed mini nukes, on missiles that could reach. Some say California, some say they could even reach Chicago. If they could reach Chicago, that mean they could reach any state with these mini nukes that they have developed. And they're going on and they're saying that, yeah, okay, we believe that they developed them. The thing is if they believe that they even developed them, then that means that low key, a lot of people don't know what that mean, but that mean on the real, North Korea probably got some shit even worse than what they believe, man. And this is all just forming to this nuclear holocaust, or this nuclear war that's gonna pop off here pretty soon. And they're saying, and what's important about it is they're saying that North Korea is selling these weapons to people like, you guess who, Iran, which are chief enemies of the state of Israel and of America. Those are two allies, and their enemies are China, which North Korea is a ally of China, and Iran and Russia. So they're all trading and selling this technology to each other because you know underneath the wraps, North Korea probably got some of this technology from Russia. But that's just my guess. But they're all trading and selling this technology, so everybody got nukes now. Everybody got the big guns now, so they're ready. Everything's forming to the war, which is prophecy. It's biblical prophecy that the second death is by fire and brimstone, and that fire and brimstone that they're talking about is talking about nuclear weapons coming from the skies like stars falling from the heavens, and they're hitting their different targets, man. And they're gonna kill. They're gonna fall in the sea. They're gonna fall on land, and Mystery Babylon is gonna be completely burned up, man. And that's America. Let's let this play.
Now, a new UN report is reportedly revealing that North Korea has probably developed the capability to put nuclear devices on ballistic missiles. Joining us now is former Deputy Assistant Secretary of State and ABC News contributor Stephen Ganyard. Steve, if this report is accurate, what does it mean potentially in terms of our ability to contain North Korea?
It means that we've failed. And when I say we, I say every president for the last 20, almost 30 years. Mr. Trump tried one approach. It has failed. Presidents before him, both Democratic and Republican, have tried more consistent approaches, and they have failed. We've known that the progress on the North Korean nuclear regime has continued, and now that we have this UN report, we have almost independent verification that we believe that they've miniaturized, in other words, taken a nuclear weapon and made it small enough that it can go on a rocket that theoretically could reach the east coast of the United States. And so the answer to your question is we have failed, and the world is a much more dangerous place.
And talk to us for a minute about actually being able to put miniature nuclear weapons on a ballistic missile. What does that mean in terms of where they may now be able to potentially strike?
Yeah, for any country to be able to have the capability to have nuclear weapons and to threaten other countries with nuclear weapons, they have to have several things. One, they have to have the rocket, so you have to have a rocket that can go a long way. Then you have to be able to take that nuclear weapon and make it small enough and light enough so that that rocket can travel far distances. We've seen the first two out of the North Koreans. What we haven't seen out of the North Koreans is the ability to survive re-entry. So the heat that's caused on re-entry, we saw the Dragon SpaceX capsule come down just a couple days ago. It's the same idea. When it re-enters the atmosphere, it gets very hot, and it's very, very difficult.
Now, you probably haven't seen that technology from them yet, but guess who you have seen that type of technology from? Russia and China. And guess who's allies? Russia, China, and North Korea.
To have the metallurgy and the capability to survive re-entry. The fourth thing that the North Koreans have yet to demonstrate is the ability to target, to put that nuclear weapon somewhere in the area, the vicinity that they wanted to land. So we've seen the first two, and those are probably the most disconcerting because they can continue to threaten us. We have to accept their bluff. If it's a bluff, if they say we've got nuclear weapons and we can put them into South Korea or we can put them into San Francisco or Chicago, we have to accept that on faith face value, because we have seen that miniaturized warhead, and we have seen the performance of the rockets theoretically able to reach the east coast of the United States.
Reach the east coast of the United States. San Francisco or Chicago? Oh, man, so you gotta. I mean, that's the West Coast in the Midwest, but so pretty much they say they could reach anywhere, and they have seen them. Like he just said, we have seen those miniature nuclear warheads, So why do they keep comparing the United States when they say where they could reach? They always talk about where they could reach at in the United States. Why? Because they know that those things are going to be launched at the United States, man. That's who they worried about hitting. They not talking about they could reach Israel. They're talking about the United States, man, because they know eventually there's going to come a time, or if things get too heated, they're going to shoot those things. They're going to aim them at the United States, man. Revelations chapter 8 tells you all about the nukes, man, how it's all going to go down, which is, that second death, by fire and brimstone. Revelation chapter 8, verse 1. And when he had opened the seventh seal, there was silence in heaven about a space of half an hour. And I saw the seven angels which stood before God, and to them were given seven trumpets, right? And another angel came and stood on the altar, having a gold censer, and there was given unto him much incense, that he should offer it with the prayer of all the saints upon the golden altar which was before the throne, right? And the prayer of the saints, we are the saints. We've been putting those prayers up for this place to come down and be destroyed. And the smoke of the incense which came with the prayer of the saints ascended up before God out of the angel's hand, right? And the angel took the censer and filled it with fire on the altar and cast it into the earth. And there were voices and thunderings and lightnings and in an earthquake. That's talking about destruction that's going to be cast down here to the earth, right? And the seven angels which had the seven trumpets prepared themselves to sound, right? So this is the first angel. The first angel sounded, and there following hell, fire mingled with blood, and they were cast upon the earth. And the third part of the trees was burnt up, and all the green grass was burnt up. That's talking about those nukes that's going to hit different parts of the land. Because look, when you think about it, hell and fire mingled with blood. What is hell and fire mingled with blood? Is it talking about ice stones coming out the sky, but it's mingled with fire at the same time and blood and literal? No, man, it's talking about these nukes are going to come down. These different missiles and rockets, they're going to come down the same way that hell come down, and they hit different things. These are going to burn up the trees and the grass and stuff, hit different parts of the forest and stuff like that, and they're mingled with blood because it's going to be bloodshed when they hit the ground, man. You got to be able to understand this book. And this the second angel sounded, and as it were a great mountain burning with fire, which was cast into the sea, and the third part of the sea became blood. Now, is it talking about asteroid coming? Because that's a mountain which is just rock, which is fire and brimstone coming down. But this time these are going to be gigantic, not miniature nukes, even though they got that technology, but Russia going to jump in with those big boy nukes. Same thing with China. It's talking about a gigantic nuke. So some of these nukes are going to hit the sea, and the sea is going to become blood because it's going to kill whales, it's going to kill sharks, it's going to kill dolphins, it's going to kill. Why would they aim some of these things at the sea? Because you have aircraft carriers in the sea, you got battleships, you got submarines, and then submarines, they got torpedoes with nukes. Look up Russia came up, they developed a torpedo nuke that could, man, do great damage, so there's going to be war in the seas too, and a lot of things are going to die, and a lot of people are going to die, right? And the third part of the creatures which were in the sea and had life died, right? Because they're going to be caught up in this war, in this great war, World War III. And the third part of the ships, see, there you go. And the third part of the ships were destroyed. That's why there's going to be nuclear war in the sea, because ships are going to be in the sea and they're going to be having war. They're going to be shooting these different missiles and these nukes at each other in the sea too, So they're going to have war in the sea, which also lets you know this ain't talking about no asteroid, man. This is talking about warfare that's going to be going down in the sea with nukes and stuff, which works just like an asteroid. Because look, if an asteroid or a meteor or whatever comes out the sky and it hits a certain part, it's going to do the same thing a nuke going to do, but the nuke explodes and it does way more damage, because the explosion and at the same time the contamination with the radiation, so it does a lot of damage even after it hits. Verse 10, and the third angel sounded, and there fell a great star from heaven. So just imagine a nuke coming from the skies. What is it going to look like? A gigantic one on that re-entry, and it's burning up like he said. It's gonna look like a great star just kind of flickering in the sky until it gets closer and you see the tail of it, and then you're gonna see it hit, and that's it. That's all you're gonna see ever again, man. Right? And the third angel sounded, and there fell a great star from heaven, burning. It was burning as if it were a lamp. So it looked like a lamp up there, and it fell upon the third part of the rivers and upon the fountains of the waters, right? So the fountains of the waters is your different your rivers and streams and stuff like that, right? And the name of the star is called wormwood. And the third part of the waters became wormwood, and many men died of the waters because they were made bitter. So why did many men die of these waters? Because the waters were made bitter when this nuclear weapon hit the waters, right? Contamination. Google the word contamination. So when these different missiles and these different nukes hit different places and they hit the streams and they hit the waters, what's going to happen is they're going to contaminate the waters with that radiation, man. With that radiation and all those chemicals are going to contaminate the waters. So the waters, if you go out there and you trying to drink from the waters, you're going to die from contamination or radiation poison. And the animals are going to die, so there ain't going to be that much fishing. Unless you can find, some waters that haven't been contaminated, but fishing and stuff like that is going to be out the window because everything in the sea, one third of the sea, like this says, a third part of the sea is going to be killed. Now, if you know how much water, Earth is mostly water. I think they say what Earth is like 80% water. So that's a lot of water, and you take a third part of that, man. That's a lot. That's a lot of the Earth, man. It's gonna be mainly over here in the west end of the Earth, man. And the fourth angel sounded, and the third part of the sun was smitten, and the third part of the moon, and the third part of the stars. So as the third part of them was darkened, and the day shone not for the third part of it, and the night likewise. Why is the sun and the moon smitten, and the third part of them was darkened? Because from these nuclear weapons, when they hit different parts of the earth, they have all that debris that flies into the I forgot the actual word, but mushroom clouds, debris, smoke, fire, all that stuff goes up into the sky, and what it does is the clouds catch it, and it circulates around the globe. And the thing is it causes a nuclear winter, because the sun rays can't penetrate through those heavy dust clouds, man. So everything under freezes, and what it does is it blocks out the sun. It blocks out the moon because all that debris is in the sky, so you can't see the moon, you can't see the sky. Just like if you get to a big city, like if you go to LA, you can't really never see the stars in the sky because all that pollution that's in the air. You see what I'm saying? So that's what it's going to do. It's going to contaminate the waters. It's going to contaminate the skies. All that pollution is going to be in the air. You ain't going to be able to see the stars. You ain't going to be able to see the sun. You ain't going to be able to see the moon. From where? From over here in America, because you're not going to be able to see it. Some parts of the earth still going to be able to see it, but some parts not. That's why I say it's a third part. And I behold, and I heard an angel flying through the midst of heaven, saying with a loud voice, "Woe, woe, woe." That woe, woe, woe stands for World War III, man. You had the first woe, World War I. You had the second woe, World War II. You got the third woe, World War III. And the heaviness of the earth by reason of the other voices of the trumpets of three angels which are yet to sound. Then when you go into the other three angels, it goes into the fifth angel that's talking about he opened the bottomless pit, and the smoke rise like a furnace, and the sun was darkened, and then locusts, which are really military it's military helicopters and stuff that come out, you know, because it goes into you telling you the shape of the locust was like horses prepared into battle. Their heads are crowned of gold. Their faces are the faces of man, because you could look into the windows and see man in there. Their hair, then it goes into their breastplates being breastplates of iron. Well, we know actual locusts don't have breastplates of iron. This is talking about military helicopters, because they look like locusts in the sky. Look up a locust and look up helicopters. They look exactly the same flying in the sky, man. You know, you could look up that. And then it goes into the 12th verse, is talking about the one woe is past, and behold, there come two woes more. What is that talking about? What are the two woes more? Well, that's war. Woe means like destruction. So you have World War I, and then behold, two woes come after. That's World War II, World War III. You know, we living in those times. You know, then you go into the 6th. Let me see if I can find the 6th one. Well, you know, at the end, the 7th one is, you know, the Lord coming down with the elect. You know, that's the seventh trumpet. But this is what I'm looking for, because America is going to be burnt up. That's what I'm looking for, and that's in Revelation chapter 18. Let me find the verse 16, right? And saying, alas, alas, that great city that was clothed in fine linen and purple and scarlet and decked with gold and precious stones and pearls, which pretty much is explaining the richest country on earth, which we all know that's America. I mean, let's get real. That's America. They're the number one. They have the number one economy on earth, which means that they're the richest country in earth. They have the number one economy. You know, so that's why it's talking like that. It's telling you they're pretty much was rich. They were decked with gold. You know, when the Spaniards and different, you know, Edomite nations came over to America, one of the things that they were doing was they was mining all the gold, man. They was taking all the gold. They was taking down Gad, the Native Americans, Issachar, the Aztecs, and they was taking all their gold, man. So yes, they're decked with gold, you know. But lately, since their kingdom been falling, they ain't even been having no gold to back up everything. But they're still rich, you know. And the thing is like they're gonna be destroyed by nuclear warfare. Verse 17. For in 1 hour so great riches is come to naught. You know, and every shipmaster and all the companies and all the company and ships and sailors and all many by as trade by sea stood off for and cried when they saw the smoke of her burning, saying, what city is like unto this great city? Right now, when it says city, is it talking about a literal city in the sense that we look at cities today, like just New York City? You got to think, man, you got to understand the Bible, understand these words. City just means a place where citizens are. That's where you get the word citizen. Citizens live in cities. Well, you could be a citizen of New York City, but you're also a citizen of the whole United States country. That's why you can move anywhere. You a U.S. citizen. You know, you're a USA citizen. You can move anywhere that you want to in the United States because you're a citizen of the whole United States. Now that you're a citizen of the United States, you're a citizen of whatever city that you're living too. You know, at the same time. And then county, you're a citizen of, let's say, Sangamon County, you know, Macon County. You're a citizen of that county too. So it gets more specific. But when it's saying city right here, it's not talking about like a New York City. It's talking about a whole country. Because you're a citizen of the United States too at the same time. That's what city links to, is you being a citizen. So is it talking about the what is that? The Vatican City over there that has a population of 1,000 people? No, man, it's not talking about that, because this is talking about a place that's the most richest place on earth, and they're decked with gold, and they have to trade by sea. So does the Vatican City do every country around the world come to the Vatican City to trade by ship, by sea with them? No, man, they too small time. Everybody comes to America because all these different countries get rich off America through trade, you know? And that's the reason why they're going to be crying when they see the smoke burning, because they're not going to be able to get rich off America no more. That's why we know America is Mystery Babylon. If you say the Vatican City is Mystery Babylon, prove to me, show me, right, that the Vatican City trade in Revelation chapter 18 goes through the different merchandise. This is not there for no reason. It's here for a reason. So prove to me that the Vatican City trade by the merchandise of gold. All these things by sea, right? The merchandise. Does the Vatican City have a port? The merchandise of gold, silver, precious stones, pearls, fine linen, purple and silk, scarlet, and all dyed wood, and all matters of vessels of ivory, and all matters of vessels of precious wood, and brass and iron, marble, cinnamon, odors, ointment, frankincense, wine, oil, fine flour, wheat, beast, sheep, horses, chariots, slaves, souls of man. Prove to me that the Vatican City trades with all those things. Go one by one and show that the Vatican City is trading by sea with all these things on a mass level that every other country is going to be crying. You could destroy the Vatican City right now today, and all these countries are still going to be trading these things. Why? Because they're getting them from America, man. That's the #1 economy that's fueling the world. We're in debt because we have the most debt. Why? Because we're doing the most trade with all these different countries, man. That's how we know this is talking about America, because I could tell you a place that trades by all these things. The United States of America, for a fact, trades all those things, man. And like it says, and slaves. Is the Vatican City trading slaves right now? No, but America still is. Do a quick Google search. Who has the most prisons in the world? The most people in prison in the world. It's America. Prison is slavery, man. It's another form of slavery, man. And souls of man. It's another point of slavery. So America holds the most prisons and have the most people in prison out of any other country in the world, and it's by a landslide. It's not even close. Prove to me that the Vatican City could hold up to all these things. They can't. This ain't talking about the Vatican City. This is talking about Mystery Babylon, which is America, man. Right? So, and this is talking about their smoke burning up for and saying what city is like this, because that smoke is going to go up forever and ever. Where's that smoke coming from? That smoke is going to come from a nuclear warfare. When those nuclear missiles come out the sky and they hit America and destroy it, that smoke is going to go up for a very, very long time. Look at the bomb that was just let loose in Beirut. They had that smokestack going up, and then it exploded, and then the next day pretty much the smoke was put out, but for a little bit they had fires that was still putting up smoke. That wasn't nothing. That wasn't even no nuke. So imagine hundreds of thousands of nukes that's going to be dropped on America, man. That's going to cause other things to explode and go up in fire. It's going to go up for a long time, and this is going to be televised, and these other nations are going to be seeing this, from their country, from their ships and stuff. They're going to be seeing this smoke going up, and they're going to be crying because they're going to know that the party is over, and they can't get rich off America no more because it's going to be destroyed, man. So, well, let me see what else I could find in here. It says back in Revelation chapter 8, back at chapter 18, back at verse 8. Therefore shall her plagues come in one day, death and mourning and famine, and she shall be utterly burnt with fire. For strong is the Lord who judges her. Utterly burnt in fire. Huh? Is fire just going to drop from the sky? Yeah. In the way of a nuclear missile. That's the way that it's going to drop from the sky. And the kings of earth who have committed fornication and lived deliciously with her shall bewail her and lament for her when they shall see the smoke of her burning. This talking about the Vatican City, man. This small little Vatican City is burning, and all the kings of the earth, people that don't even have anything to do, like you got different nations, like African nations that don't give no fuck about the Vatican City. You got different Arab nations that and they're gonna, and you telling me the Vatican City is that big that these kings are gonna be pretty much crying, and they're gonna be in sorrow when they see the smoke, that the Lord is just coming down. He's just coming down to take vengeance on this place, this actual place called the Vatican City with 1,000 people. And then what they do is they switch in and try to say, well, no, the Vatican City, yeah, it's them, but they run the whole world. But this ain't talking about the whole world being put on fire. This is talking about an actual physical place that's going to be put on fire, man. That the Lord is going to destroy, that's going to be burnt with fire. An actual physical place. So we already got that out the way, that it's talking about an actual physical place. So the question is it talking about actual physical Vatican City? Or is, because this ain't talking about the system. This is talking about actual physical place. Or is it talking about physical America? I would go with physical America any day, man. It matches up with this scripture way more than the Vatican City, the small Vatican City, man. You know, but it ain't for some people to see it. You know, this only for the elect to see it. The Lord only. You got men that think they great, that think they knowledgeable, that be in all these books, reading all these books all day, but that don't matter if the Lord didn't give it to them. If the Lord didn't open their eyes up and give them the Holy Spirit to see the truth. There's men that's been studying this shit for 40, 50 years and don't get it. Because the Lord has to give you that understanding. There's men that's been in this stuff for a year that gets it. Because the Lord gave them that understanding. They might not be able to quote as many scriptures as you, but the Lord gave them that understanding. So really, they know a lot more than you. You know, the Lord reserved this thing for babes. You know, it talks about that in the chapter in Matthew. You know, so America's going to be burnt up by nuclear warfare, and a lot of different places are going to get hit and be burnt up by nuclear warfare. But America's going to be completely destroyed, and no man will ever live on this land. Only it's going to become a complete desert, man. A complete desert. Here, let me see if I could find that one real quick, man. Because these Edomites run America, man. And it talks about their judgment. Wherever they're at, it's called by their old ancient cities. That's why Mystery Babylon is called Mystery Babylon. Why? Because it's likened to ancient Babylon. It's a similarity. You know, Revelations 49:13. For I have sworn by myself, sake the Lord, that Basra should become a desolation, a reproach, a waste, a curse, and all the cities therefore shall be a perpetual waste. What's a perpetual waste, man? That's a desert. All the cities of Basra, which is a place where the Edomites reside, which is their stronghold, they're all over the earth, but America is that's their stronghold. That place where they at, Basra, is going to become a desolation. A desolation meaning it's going to become a desert, man. A reproach, a waste, a curse. And all the cities in America are going to become perpetual wastes. Perpetual mean, you know, for a very, very long time, almost forever. It's going to become a desolation, you know. Ain't nothing nobody could do about it, man. Verse 17, also Edom should be a desolation. And everyone that goes by it should be astonished and should hiss at all the plagues thereof. You know, when you go across America, you're going to hiss and astonish at all the plagues that came. As in the overthrow of Sodom and Gomorrah, right? Because Sodom and Gomorrah is still a desolation. It's a desert. That's why it's likened it to it. In the neighbor cities thereof, say the Lord, no man shall abide there, neither shall a son of man dwell in it. Meaning that this mystery Babylon, this place where the Edomites had a stronghold, where they put their kingdom, which is Basra, no man is going to abide there, and no man should dwell in it. No man is going to live here in America, man. Thus say the Lord. Salvation to the elect. Shalom.